I think I found the perfect breakfast. So over the years growing up, I've had a number of different breakfast routines. Back when I was a kid, I used to have Reese's Puffs or Cocoa Puffs. It was one of these highly processed cereals that are just loaded with sugar. And the only thing I was concerned about, like most at that age, is just taste. And obviously, since they're loaded with sugar, no fiber, taste amazing, and I would eat a ton of it. And then by the time I got to school, shortly after first, second class, I'd be starving again. So when I became a little bit more aware of my health and the nutritional content of the meal, I thought maybe I should go away from Cocoa Puffs and Reese's Puffs and try something a little more healthy. And that's where I got into eating English muffins with peanut butter or like an avocado toast with a side smoothie. And this was a pretty good meal for a long time. But then when I started working, I need something that was portable and that was just quick to make so that it wasn't taking up so much of my time every single morning. So when I started to look at my breakfast, I realized there was three things that I needed. One, it needed to taste great, or else I wasn't going to eat it. Two, it needed to be nutritionally sound if I wanted to have sustained energy and fullness throughout the morning. And three, it had to be something easy to make or something that I could store so it wouldn't take up so much time every single morning before work. And so that's where I came across oatmeal. And I don't just mean the typical Quaker's oatmeal, which is based off of instant oats, loaded with sugar, and has additives. I mean like homemade, whole foods, plant-based oatmeal. And so first, I want to start off with a healthy whole foods base. And that's where steel cut oats come in. Steel cut oats are one of the most least processed forms of oats. What this means is that there's not much processing that takes place from actually growing the oat to bringing it to your table to eat. This is unlike, for example, old-fashioned oats, which take some sort of processing to cook the oat and flatten it, to even instant oats, which are pre-cooked. And the more you process a food, the more it loses its fiber, the more it loses its nutrients, and overall it's just not as nutrient dense as a food. So you can see this in glycemic index ratings. A food's glycemic index rates how quickly a food will raise one's blood sugar after being absorbed and digested. And so when we look at steel cut oats, a not very processed form of oats, we see that its glycemic index is a 52. Compare this to about a 58 of old-fashioned oats, which has a little bit of processing, and that of like 65 of instant oats, which are highly processed. That's also why instant oats, you just heat them up and they're basically good to go. It's because they've been processed beforehand. Now compare that to a cereal though. Your typical cereal, those Cocoa Puffs that I was eating, have a glycemic index around 80, so that's really high. What happens with these high glycemic index foods is that you eat them, your blood sugar will skyrocket up, your body will produce a response of insulin to bring it back down, and you'll just get this spike and immediate drop in blood sugar levels, which is not great for sustained energy, it's not good for controlling your blood sugar, it's not good for controlling your weight. I like to start adding a few more food groups to create a nutritionally well-rounded meal. So second, I like to go with berries. Berries are great with oatmeal, they make it taste great. My favorite are blueberries with this. A recent study showed that those who consume one serving of berries a day compared to those who don't consume any berries a day decrease their cognitive decline by about 2.5 years over their lifespan. So if you're looking for cognitive health benefits, berries are the way to go. They're also loaded with fiber, loaded with antioxidants. Most people think that high sugar foods like berries aren't healthy, but due to their high fiber and nutritional content, they're extremely healthy. You'll even see this with diabetics who tend to avoid added sugar. They'll still consume tons of fruit in their whole food form because it doesn't raise their blood sugar because of the fiber and the nutritional completeness. Next, I like to start adding in some healthy fats and some healthy proteins, again, to create a more well-rounded meal. So next, I like add in nuts. Walnuts have more ALA omega-3s than any other nut and most other plant-based foods. And what ALA and omega-3s really help out with is brain health again. So similar to berries, those who are eating walnuts are going to see a lot of benefits to their cognitive health as well as sustained energy throughout the day. Walnuts are also a great plant-based source of fat and protein. Next, I like to throw in a little dash of ground flaxseed. Flaxseeds have tons of fiber and one of the most highest concentrated amounts of lignans, which have been shown to prevent a number of different types of cancers like prostate cancer, breast cancer, and a number of other types of cancers. Lastly, not only for taste but for nutritional content, I like to throw in a little dash of cinnamon. Cinnamon is a great anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and anti-tumor food that's just great to throw in on a meal like this. So those are the 5 typical ingredients I use for my oatmeal, and here's how it plays out. First, I'll throw in a third cup of steel cut oats along with 1 cup of water instead of a medium saucepan. I'll throw a lid on it, turn the heat to high, and bring it to a boil. Once it boils, I'll reduce the heat to low, and then stir it occasionally, maybe every 5 minutes just so it doesn't boil over. After that, I'll start adding in the remaining ingredients, starting off with 3/4 cup of blueberries. Typically I use frozen, but fresh blueberries work well too. 1/4 cup of walnuts, 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'll stir it, mix it all up, and if you use frozen blueberries, you'll get this nice deep purple color. If you use fresh blueberries, you'll just get the normal oatmeal color. Both look great. I'll throw it inside of a serving dish, whether it's a glass container of meal prep or just a nice dish in the morning to eat, and it's good to go. And that's about it. It takes about 25 minutes to make this meal, but most of your time is just sitting while the steel cutouts cook. So it really doesn't take too much time. And if you're like me and you just don't have that much time in the morning to spend cooking, this meal is so easy to meal prep in bulk on the weekends and then just throw them in glass storage containers, heat them up throughout the week, and you're good to go. And if you don't like any of these ingredients or you just want to start adding more variety to the meal, say you get sick of making it over and over again, it's easy to mix it up with this meal. You can start off with different bases like quinoa or amaranth. You can add in different berries like raspberries or blackberries, blueberries, strawberries. Whatever your favorite berry is, that's what I encourage you to try, because if you don't like this meal, you're not going to continue with eating it over and over again. So find something that you like and stick with it. Different nuts I like to add are pecans, walnuts, almonds, cashews. I just like mixing it up day to day, not only to change the flavor profile, but to also change the nutritional content and variety. And that goes the same with seeds, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, flax seeds. Whatever seed it is, mix it up, find your favorite seed that works for you, and stick with it. Spices, I like to use nutmeg, cinnamon, black pepper. Any of these work great for this oatmeal recipe. What this turns out to be is about a 500 calorie meal. This works great whether you're eating a 1200 or 2000 calorie diet. 500 calories in the morning, you can kind of adjust the serving to whatever fits you, is a great way to start the day. It's going to bring you sustained energy levels and sustained fullness to get you through the morning right into lunchtime. It also has a lot of healthy fats, healthy carbs, and healthy proteins, as you can see, tons of fiber, and tons of micronutrients. So whether you're looking to lose fat or gain muscle, this is a great way to start the day. And so to round things up, if you're looking for a meal that can taste great like oatmeal can, it's easy to adjust it to your taste preferences. If you're looking for a meal that's nutritionally sound, that has a lot of different food groups and variety to meet your protein, carb, fat, micronutrient, antioxidant needs, and if you're looking for a meal that's just easy and convenient to make, one that you can just put together on the weekends in bulk, heat up throughout the week for your morning breakfast, then I think this is the perfect meal. One that tastes great, one that's nutritionally sound, and one that's easy to make. And that's why I think this is the perfect breakfast.